This is disgusting, but think before you sleep. We're gonna go in and go all the way in, full insertion, baby making power into Noah Samsen, and I'm ready to just jump right in. I am really ready to jump right into this guy.
On YouTube, for the past few years, there's a big industry that's exploded in popularity, and it's based on a simple concept. Hasan Piker is bad, and he's dumb, and bad and a terrorist, probably. It's also wild because...
Well, and there's a reason for that. Maybe it's because he is on constant occasions defended that type of actions, defended atrocities, without actually utilizing any critical thinking ability to look at both sides of an equation. It is very lopsided, and this is what happens whenever you decide, oh, I'm only for this cause all of the time. Yes, Daddy, I'm always for this cause. And then whenever you get any sort of information that rebukes this, you're just like, no, I don't see that. That is bad. And that's where you become like a propagator of misinformation and a propagandist. Basically, you are a giant propagandist, and that's exactly what Hasan is. That's what Hasan has said he is, and that's what old Noah Samsen here is. I mean, it's so funny to me how people can't take a second to step back and look at this stuff critically. Now, I made a giant takedown video on Hasan, and I was being incredibly hyperbolic in it, calling him like Muslim Superman and all this other stuff, when I know that he doesn't claim to be the greatest Muslim, but it's more the encompassing like surroundings of him and how they tout him up as being like kind of a light for Muslim people, right? And how, like, when they make their Arab to Jew tier list, he's at the very top, and it was just kind of more like utilizing that, and the fact that he was calling Mutahar and Uncle Tom when he really doesn't have any right to, considering he only for Muslim genocides to happen, he's batting 50%. He cares about this one, but he didn't care about the last one. Oh, all the Uyghurs can die because China's communist and based. And that was just kind of my whole, I made a whole video on that. I broke it all down. I put in as many article headlines as I possibly could in that video, utilizing a lot from even like Al Jazeera to prove my point that Hasan only cares about this now because his audience cared. His audience didn't care about the Uyghurs dying, and they couldn't give a shit less about them. So it's all about like optics for Hasan, and that's the problem. That's the problem, is he's willing to propagate like harmful and disgusting shit, and just like pull all fucking accountability from himself because he's a little piece of shit. He's a little whiner. It's stupid.
The political content creator.
Oh, not to mention the fact that whenever anybody criticizes him, even if it's not just on the Israel-Palestine conflict, he will still utilize the fact that a genocide happened as a defense for him getting out of trouble. Always using he basically, him and people like Noah Samsen will stack all the dead bodies of a genocide like a giant wall of a shield to block them from criticism. These are the biggest meat shield users in the entire world.
In question is an anti-genocide content creator, and the arguments they're attacking him for are anti-genocide arguments. So these creators, they're positioning themselves in opposite.
Wrong. You can be anti-genocide and also anti-terrorism. You can be both of those things. There are Palestinians right now who don't want to be associated with Hamas or any of these other guys, and they're getting like killed off. But you don't hear people speaking up about them. It's like you can look at and feel bad for what the Palestinians have gone through, but still not support a terrorist organization. What the fuck is going on here?
Position to him and his arguments, de facto positioning themselves on the pro-genocide side.
Well, I mean, maybe these people don't like Hasan Piker because he says a lot of dumb things that aren't always related to the Israel-Palestine situation. In fact, most of the criticism towards him over the years has nothing to do with that at all. But according to Noah, anyone who criticizes Hasan now loves it when people die. Okay, I'm loving the us versus them mentality. And, well, I think it's time for the yearly Noah Samsen check-in. Last time was pretty crazy with the Illumination stuff, but this time Noah seems to be even more off his meds than usual. I guess he decided that slandering one of his opponents to try to get his audience to deplatform that opponent wasn't enough, so now he's slandering a bunch of big YouTubers to try to get his audience to, well, we'll get to that. But first, a little backstory on the whole Hasan Piker, Noah Samsen, and Ethan Klein situation. About 2 months ago, YouTuber Ethan Klein released a content nuke on his former Leftovers podcast co-host Hasan Piker, who has endorsed things like terrorism, has violated the Twitch rules numerous times, and never gets in trouble for it like any other creator who is.
Also, the huge thing that everybody misses and everybody forgets, which I covered on my channel, which I don't understand how anybody didn't see this. I mean, Ethan touched upon it in his nuke, but Hasan played fucking for the Chinese government, utilizing their propaganda to cover a Muslim genocide in China. Like, are we fucking... The dude always claims that other people don't care about genocide when he actively propagated information that was lies about a genocide that was actually happening. He was willing to let people die in internment camps to protect a communist country just because they were communist. I'm never going to let this be forgotten. This is something that I think is so funny when he's out here calling other people like defenders of genocide, or if you have arguments against me, you just supported genocide. Motherfucker, you supported a genocide. Motherfucker, you are the genocide defender. Like, what the fuck are we talking about here?
Not Hasan would. Some people might call that a double standard. In response to Ethan's video, boosted e-girl Noah Samsen, who basically has had his entire career made by Hasan reacting to his videos, decided that he can't have people criticizing his pay pig, because if people point out all the rule breaking that Hasan has done and he gets banned from Twitch, who would boost all of Noah's videos? So after Ethan's content nuke, Noah made this video called The YouTubers Who Backed a Genocide. You got Destiny on the left, Turkey Tom in the middle, Mutahar on the right of him, and to the far right, you have Ethan Klein doing sort of the closest screenshot that Noah could get of something that looks like a Nazi salute. And basically, Noah spends this whole video saying stuff like this. Jews rock! I love Jews! Wait, that's the wrong clip. This is the correct one.
Jews rock! I love that, dude. Jews rock! That was a great clip. That was a really good clip.
A long history of intentionally targeting Palestinian civilians for slaughter. Genocide isn't just bad thing that's happening where people are dying. No, that's not what it is. It's a Holocaust. The U.S.-Israeli Holocaust. That's what it should be called. Israel is using everything in its power to eradicate Palestinians from the planet. The fact that Israel's actions in Gaza amount to genocide isn't controversial. Not among the experts, at least.
That basically sums up Noah's whole response to Ethan's content nuke on Hasan. There's a lot of misery porn of Palestinians being hurt, and Israelis are the Voldemort-like evil perpetrators of that harm. And look, personally, I don't have a lot of interest in this war. I'm not a big fan of the U.S. getting involved with other people's drama, and contrary to Noah's completely one-sided coverage, it seems like both sides have done some pretty horrible things.
Yeah, they're pretty fucking, I mean, like, you have Hamas, like, fucking poking the bear attacking, and it's bad. Like, now, I'm not gonna side with the fucking bear obliterating everything, but I'm also not gonna side with the terrorists poking the bear. Like, that's why, like, I see a lot of Palestinians that are like, dude, I just want these fucking Hamas to stop so that we can stop fucking getting bombed, because like Hamas have been firing like endless missiles, then Israel retaliates, and then shit gets bad. I mean, and then like October 7th was awful. So you look at all of this shit, it's just all bad. It's very muddy waters. Now I can, and there is no, it just seems like there's either people that are fully for Israel and fully for Palestine, but then there's people that are like, I feel bad for the Palestinians, I feel bad for what they're going through, but I also don't think that the right action is just obliterating it, or like making Israel just leave, like making all the Israelis just evacuate their area. And it just kind of seems like those are the options: either no more Palestinians or no more Israels. And it's like, dude, what is there a better? There's got to be a better solution. There's got to be a better solution. I don't know. It just feels like either them or us all the time with this argument, and there's no room for a middle area. There's no gray area whatsoever, and it's disgusting. It really is. I mean, it's funny how I disagree with Ethan Klein over like 99% of the time, like a lot. Well, okay, maybe not that much, but Ethan Klein, in the past I've kind of I don't know, been at odds with. I think that he did a lot of ladder pulling where he kind of like positioned himself to be for censorship on YouTube when he used to be like a champion of free speech, and it was just kind of a cringe to watch somebody that grew or came up being edgy then condemn edgy content. I fucking hated that. But in this situation, it's funny that he's like, dude, I'm just a leftist, bro. I'm a leftist, but I feel bad for Palestine, but for some reason I'm getting all these attacks just for being Jewish. What the fuck's going on? And then he finds out that it's from his co-host. Of course he's going to be mad. Of course this is gonna happen. It's just like it's like people don't look at the lead ups to what caused this drama. It's just like I feel like with a lot of this conflict, people aren't looking at what caused this action and then what caused this action, and then like categorically looking at both sides of the situation, which I think you should do if you're going to report on shit in a genuine matter. But that's not what these motherfuckers want to do. They want to twist every fucking thing to make that fit their narrative.
Things. But this video is not about fact-checking Noah's research on Israel and Palestine, which I'm sure is as horrendous as it usually is. What this video is actually about is Noah Samsen pushing his audience towards violent radicalism through slandering other creators and openly calling for his audience to use violence to achieve their political goals. That being said, let's go further into detail for why Noah didn't...
By the way, one of his big examples in that video is the UN report doesn't actually prove that there was any rapes on October 7th, when that is not what it says whatsoever. It says that they didn't, that they had firsthand accounts. They had bodies laying in positions where it was, like 90% positive that that's what happened to them, but they didn't run rape kits on them. That was the only thing that they didn't run on these people, and it's like, I don't know if the facts really, but it was like, well, there's no 100% empirical evidence that happened. It's like, yeah, dude, but when every fucking when if I don't see the guy stab the dude in the chest, right, but I see him standing there with a bloody knife, I see the blood leading to him, I'm going to say that guy probably killed him. And if that guy looks at me and he's like, I killed him, and then the guy next to him says, yeah, he killed him, I'm going to say he killed him, right? Like, plain and simple. And that's kind of like the fact that Noah's like, no, but I didn't see him kill him, so therefore it didn't happen. John Cena.
Like Ethan's content nuke on Hasan.
The real reason I'm talking about Ethan's video today is less about what he says in it and more about what he doesn't say, the things he chooses to leave out. Ethan omits the Palestinian side of the story entirely. He doesn't talk about Gaza. He doesn't give any specifics about what Israel is doing there. And this is an issue. Western media manufactures consent for large-scale terror operations across the globe in a number of ways. There are more overt forms, like atrocity propaganda. There are also more subtle ways, like deceptively framing information, using passive language, and creating false perceptions about conflicts through things like burying the lead and lies by omission. All of these tactics are present in Ethan's video and the wider online smear.
Also, Noah does this in every single fucking one of his videos. He will call somebody out, and this is why I was so important that I watched that other video, kind of categorizing his entire, like, over that stupid artwork drama. That stupid artwork drama seemed like it was nothing. Seemed like it was just internet people throwing poop at each other, right? But the importance of it was to highlight the fact that he is willing to omit anything to prove his point, but while also calling people out for omitting things, where they or most people will omit something that is like doesn't really add or subtract from the narrative. They'll just get the more important part of the discussion and then put that in there, when Noah will pull the part that's not as important but fits his narrative and then throw it up there without any extra context. There's a huge difference between the two.
Campaign that motivated it, but it's that last thing that I think does quite a bit of damage, lying by omission.
So this is incredibly dishonest framing from Noah. Ethan's video is more about Hasan and not fully a response to the Israel-Palestine situation, so of course Ethan is going to talk about the Israel side a lot more, because he's playing opposition to Hasan. Even still, Ethan makes a point in his video to sympathize with what's happening to the Palestinians in Gaza. Funnily enough, Noah actually includes one of these moments in his video, but he is such a sociopath that he takes this moment that Ethan is using to sympathize with the Palestinians and uses it to attack him.
Towards the start of his video, Ethan mentions a death toll figure of 40,000 Palestinian people.
Of course, if you compare the raw numbers, Gazans have lost a lot more than Israelis. 40,000 people have died, and neighborhoods have been completely flattened during this war.
The figure he cites is wrong. It's just wrong. Credible estimates have placed the full scale of the slaughter in Gaza at over 60.
Oh my god, dude, he sympathizes with them, and this motherfucker's like, well, actually, it's 60,000, right? 60,000, so he was off by 20,000, so he's trying to downplay the deaths. That's not what he was fucking doing. He was appealing to both sides in this situation.
65,000 deaths due to traumatic injury.
Who cares if you got the number wrong? That's not the point of this statement. The point is to do something that Noah, the nice guy of YouTube, has never really gotten the hang of, which is to spend at least a second of your video showing the humanity in your opponent. I really find it disgusting that instead of using this moment to find common ground with Ethan, Noah downplays Ethan trying to humanize the Palestinians. He actually does this again later in the video as he chastises Ethan for daring to donate to Palestinian victims.
Hey, Ethan Klein, thank you for the dono. Ethan Klein gave $6,500. My goat.
What did he do? He donated to a fundraiser. Okay, but what if I told you that this donation was a one-time donation of what is likely less than 1% of his yearly income?
Gee,
Bro, what the fuck is this, dude? What the fuck? These fucking cum goblins, bro. These fucking... They don't care about the rest of the world. I, Richard Nixon, understand that these guys are fucking retarded. And this is where I just can't, like, I can't with this fucking clown, dude. I just can't with this fucking clown. Oh, you donate money to the cause? Well, it was just a fucking virtue signal. Of course, dude, all these people fucking virtue signal by donating money. Like, what the fuck are we talking about here, dog? What the actual fuck is going on? What type of fucking... Are you laying your dick between two pieces of bread and calling it a hot dog? The fuck kind of mindset is that? He donated because he cared about the cause. Ethan, on his hundreds of occasions, has talked about how he cares about the Palestinians, but his wife is Israeli. I mean, he's spent time in Israel. He has family in Israel. Of course, he's also going to care about the Israelis and not want them to die either. There's a position in the world where you can look at something, an atrocity like what's going on in Israel and Palestine, and say, yeah, I really don't like that fucking dead bodies are stacking up everywhere on both sides. I want that shit to stop. I want the terrorism to end, and I want Israel to stop aggressing. Whoa, dude. Whoa, what a fucking nuanced take. No. One has to be the ultimate villain. One has to be the fucking super bad guy. What the fuck are we talking about here, dog? This is so gross.
With a thank you like that, why would anyone want to help the Palestinians? That being said, Ethan Klein wasn't too happy about the slander from Noah Samsen, especially the part where Noah called him a supporter of mass murder of innocent people that Ethan, by the way, in reality sent money to and openly sympathized with on multiple occasions.
He does it in that video. He talks like numerous times in the nuke about how he feels he has supported the Palestinian conflict. He has said so many times how he supports the Palestinians. He just doesn't support the Houthis and Hamas. Like, is that so crazy? Am I living here in fucking like in cringe land where I use logic and am not a sociopath that supports terrorism? Like, what the fuck are we talking about? You can look at what's going on with the Palestinians, say they deserve freedom as just as much as anybody else, and they don't deserve to be attacked constantly. And one of the people that is causing them to get attacked are the fucking Hamas terrorists, so they're the bad guys. They're the bad guys in the equation. Plain and simple. I would love to see the Palestinians, like, get their fucking funny up and their money up. Both of them. I would like to see them get both of them up, bro. I want to see those funny up and money up stocks just go through the fucking roof, my dude.
So now lawyers are getting involved.
And again, I'm not taking any prisoners. If my attorney thinks there's anything in here, if he thinks that there's like a decent shot of defamation, I'm suing this fucking piece of shit. It's a little scumbag. It's not a threat.
Lawsuits coming down. Ethan's using his his little Jewish dick to sue this little non-Jewish prick. It's gonna be crazy.
You'll be hearing from us very soon, my friend. Start crowdfunding. Start looking for an attorney. You know what I mean? It's gonna be fun.
And Ethan has every right to sue Noah for this. Maybe now one of these radical leftist influencers will actually suffer legal consequences for committing crimes. This is absolutely slander.
In the best, it's not just like I love that these same type of people, like your fucking Hassans, your Noah Samsens, your Ethan is online. I remember during the misinformation bullshit, everybody was saying misinformation. I love when people said misinformation on everything, but never actually proved anything categorically. And now that the time has gone on, they are being proved as the propagandists. They are being proved as the people that is propagating misinformation, because the whole time all they were doing was using phrases like misinformation to spearhead people into their direction, to fucking use it as a tool of propaganda, which is just so insane. To use a term that is describing like wrong information as a tool to get people on your side of wrong information is just fucking insane to me, bro. I mean, I have a video coming up about a Wolfenstein. Some guy made a video on why Wolfenstein can't exist because Trump's a Nazi or something, and it was just so fucking filled with like just wrong information, but it's propagated like it's true because like some media outlets have propagated it like it's true, and it's just so insane to me how these type of people that do this type of shit, because Noah Samsen is one of these guys, they can sit here put all this stuff down in a video and be like, yeah, I fucking cooked, dog. It's not like this is a live stream moment. This isn't like me right now where I'm just fucking full brain shooting. This motherfucker sat down there with his fucking pen and thought his pen was fucking on fire. He was burning that sheet of paper with all of his fucking intelligent reasoning, because I'm a fucking highly intellectual guy. I don't ever fucking sit here. You think I watch Arnold Schwarzenegger movies? No. I only watch movies with Daniel Day-Lewis and Sean Penn because they are true actors, and I'm a sophisticated little boy. I fucking hate these type of guys.
Did Noah make this thumbnail straight up accusing Ethan of supporting people being murdered, not only did he remove important context from multiple things in his video, but he also doubled down on it.
Let me show you how to block this ad. First, you're gonna click.
Of course he doubles down on it. That's what they do. And here's the thing: they never watch anything that is proving them wrong. They never go out, and their fan bases never watch anything that's proving them wrong. Even the people that jump into my comments from the Hasan and Noah Samsen communities, what they do is they hop in, tell me how bad I am, tell me I supported genocide, tell me how much of a monster I am, find some straw man argument, and then they just fucking jizz all over my comments after watching 0.2% of my video, because they're there to support their big daddy. They want big daddy Noah Samsen's cock in their butt cheeks. They wanted to scrape all the poop off of the edge of their fucking bumhole without actually listening to any evidence to refute their claims, which is insane to me, dog.
It's absolutely slander. Not only did Noah make this thumbnail straight up accusing Ethan of supporting people being murdered, not only did he remove important context from multiple things in his video, but he also doubled down on it.
So he is threatening to sue me for defamation on the grounds that accusing someone of supporting genocide is messed up. I can think of something even more messed up than accusing someone of supporting genocide, which is, actually supporting genocide.
Which he never fucking did. Great double down. I hope they sue this fucking guy into oblivion. So here's the thing. I'm a huge proponent of free speech. But there is a thing where if you utilize your speech to hurt other people in terms of lying about them and propagating information that hurts their career and stuff that is just blatantly not true, there are consequences for it, right? There is stuff in the law to kind of say, like, you can't just go out here, propagate this information that will get this guy, like, defame this guy, and that be okay. There is stuff in there protecting people, because your speech is, free speech is free, like, unless it starts to impede on other people's freedom, right? That's always been something that is true. It's just like, what? I'm gonna go back to the video. I can't with the logic here.
Noah actually has a history of making false accusations with his video titles and thumbnails. This is not a new behavior from him. Speaking of the alienation drama, where a YouTuber I reacted to tried to get me a channel strike by telling her followers to mass flag me, last year, Noah used an intentionally deceptive title and thumbnail to make people think that I doxed alienation in retaliation for the mass flagging campaign, when in reality, I in fact not only did not do that, but I openly told people to not attack her, even though she told her followers to attack me. Noah, the lover of context and the hater of lies by omission, seemed to forget to inform people of the part where I very emphatically said in my video, hey, don't harass this person. And, of course, his title had the intended effect of making people believe I did something that I did not do.
The title is Think Before You Dox, right?
Right.
And I read that title, and that's why I watched the video. I was like, damn, that's juicy. What the fuck? Think before you sleep, dox this woman?
That was my understanding from the title. Yeah. That was my immediate conclusion. That's not what happened at all.
So many similarities here. It seems like Noah has a really bad habit of accusing his enemies of supporting things they are openly in opposition to. Now, Ethan Klein isn't the only one suing Noah. In a really unfortunately cropped tweet, Mutahar has announced that he will also be suing Noah. The tweet says, in the last couple weeks, a YouTuber, Noah Samsen, has uploaded a few videos labeling me as a genocide supporter. Normally, I would not engage with this discourse, but this has affected my business and has bled into my personal life. Mutahar goes on to say that he is a Muslim, doesn't like what the Israeli Defense Force has done, and will be suing Noah for defamation. Now, to further emphasize Mutahar's stance on the whole Israel-Palestine thing, let's watch this clip that I found. Well, I found it on Noah's list of source citations from his video.
I think that there is an actual case of, genocide, and there's an actual case of attack that goes towards the Palestinian people. I think there's very serious situations that go around the world. If you've ever grown up Muslim, and I have, then you know that there is a serious culture of anti-Semitism, in amongst the most conservative of Muslim circles. Just as you will know that there is a serious amount of Islamophobia in the most right-wing of Jewish circles. These are two groups of people that literally are just fighting each other. And when it comes to people dying in a conflict zone like Gaza right now, there is literally nothing that I feel other than sadness for men, women, and children needlessly dying for no reason.
Again, this was listed as one of Noah's sources, so he saw this.
Dude, this is how disingenuous it is, because I know exactly what Noah Samsen heard. Jews are Islamophobic. Muslims hate the Jews. I, Mutahar, support genocide. That's fucking source. That's a source, though, bro. Did you hear Mutahar say he supported genocide, bro? I don't think he said that at all. No. I heard it. He has Steam Deck behind him because he's a fucking loser. Jesus Christ, bro. It's just so funny to me, dude. It's so funny, the fucking twisting and fucking cock pulling that happens that Noah Samsen has to do to make his fucking sources, bro.
Which makes Mutahar at least the third person that Noah has accused of supporting things they are openly opposed to.
Mutahar, who I've spoken with about this, I especially feel bad for, because he is a practicing Muslim and he's part of a Muslim community, and he's
by the way, like, I know that I have talked a little bit about how I'm Muslim, but I'm like not practicing. I'm not practicing. I converted, but I'm fucking a terrible Muslim. I'm like the worst. I'm like the worst of them. Like not like, okay, let's back it up. Okay, I'm like not good in terms of like praying and not eating pork and no, I'm planning on like Ramadan. I'm gonna fucking fast this year, dude. I'm gonna do it. I know that Ramadan just passed, but like next Ramadan, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna fucking Ramadan like with my Hamadan out, dude. I'm gonna go so hard. I'm not gonna eat during the day. I'm only gonna eat when I wake up, when it's like still dark out, and then I'm gonna eat when it's still dark out, or eat again when it's dark out again. I'm gonna do it right this year, cause I'm gonna fucking do it. I also need to lose weight, so it's two birds, one stone, baby.
Accusing Mutahar of being pro-genocide for like basically saying he disagrees with Hasan promoting terrorist groups. These fucking white savior losers, man. It's like he's weaponizing his own religion against him, saying he's like a bad Muslim. That's the insinuation.
So basically, again, if you don't like Hasan and point out the double standards on Twitch, then you like it when innocent people die. Nice, Noah. You really stood up for your cash cow Hasan Piker. I'm sure he will happily continue boosting your views.
Hasan spent 2 hours watching this one. He spent 2 hours watching the first one on his stream in its entirety, glazing him up.
And again, let me further emphasize that outside of being an editor...
Also, before even fucking whatever, what's his face thing he had into, Hasan will sit down and watch 4 hours of fucking Noah Samsen while slowly stroking his cock, but he won't watch the nuke. Which is crazy to me, because the nuke is just more attacking Hasan on his fucking stupidity than it is an actual position on Israel versus Gaza, right? Or is the Israelis versus the Palestinians? It is way more of a critical look at Hasan than anything else. But that's the problem. Oh, poor little Hasan can't handle it because he's scared that his fucking captured audience might see something that's factual and leave his fucking streams forever.
For Cody Co. Noah Samsen was literally a nobody on YouTube before Hasan Piker started reacting to all of his content and sending him followers. This is why he's glazing Hasan so hard here in this drama, and probably why he also joined the Israel-Palestine meta like all the other Hasan groupies.
I think Hasan likes that this conflict's going on. His views were starting to dwindle until this whole October 7th situation happened, and then his views went back up. If you don't think that he's loving every minute that Israelis or Palestinians kill each other, you're dumb as fuck.
Now, believe it or not,
Bro, and here's another thing. Like, we, again, I can utilize my favorite thing here, and to prove this, is he only cared about this genocide of Muslims compared to the last genocide of Muslims because his motherfucking views are up, baby. His views are up, dog. And his audience wants to hear about it. His audience cares about it, so he can then pretend to care about it. Now, I'm not saying he 100% pretends to care about it. I'm sure he cares about it enough, too. I don't want to be, like, slandering him or anything. I'm sure he cares enough, but you can also, it's also beneficial to him when the idea that anti-China rhetoric was always more of a right-wing thing, right? According to like these fucking weird zealots that are politically captured in their mind. So he had to defend China, the communist daddy, no matter what. So when Muslims were dying, he didn't care about it because China good, anybody else's opinion's bad. Oh, that's all anti-Chinese propaganda. And then he goes to utilize the same sources that he poo-pooed on, calling it anti-Chinese propaganda, to then support his arguments in the modern age. And that's why I use so many headlines from Al Jazeera in my video talking about Hasan and kind of like denying a genocide in China, is because it's like, oh, you're gonna claim that I'm using right-wing sources? Well, here's fucking Al Jazeera, you fucking absolute retard.
this whole situation between Noah Samsen and Ethan Klein actually gets much worse. Defamation isn't the only problem here, but in order to understand what's going on, I feel like I need to add some context. So let's back it up a bit. That being said, a major tipping point in this YouTube/Twitch Israel-Palestine drama was an infamous panel at TwitchCon 2024 where Denham's, Frogan, and some other people...
And this is what I utilized to call Hasan Muslim Superman. This was all my joke. This was my joke here. This was the premise for it. I understand that he isn't a good Muslim, but he likes to tout that other people are bad Muslims. He likes to sit at this position of virtue, and then they do shit like this, and having fucking Denham's here and all these other people, and they're rating people on fucking Arab coded, ask permission to say Habibi. Like, it's like, go get the fuck out of here, bro. You're gatekeeping, and you're also putting Jews at the bottom of the list because you hate them. Like, that's just, this is disgusting. This is fucking racist. But Hasan got like, they were like, we should put, I wish there was a space above Arab for Hasan because Hasan's daddy.
That nobody knows, did this like game where they rated content creators from Arab to love Sabra, which honestly seems like a boring idea for a panel, but apparently there was a hidden dog whistle in there.
Yep, there it was. It isn't even that hidden, bro. It's not even that hidden. Sabra's just like it's the fucking hummus from Israel.
So last night,
like, how is that a dog whistle? Like, or how isn't that a hit? Or it's not even that hidden. It's fucking like overt dog whistling.
Frogan is the two-time Rising Star champ, and because of her massive viewership of 100 concurrent viewers, it only makes sense that Twitch would give her one of the main stages at TwitchCon to do a 45-minute long segment. Her idea that was Twitch approved, an Arab to Jew racial tier list. Top and most desirable tier is Arab. And at the bottom, the worst one is, quote, loves Sabra. Now, why does love Sabra equate to Jews? Sabra is a well-known Israeli company that makes hummus. Oh yeah, and Sabra literally means a Jew that was born in Israel. They pull me, one of the best-known Jewish creators, and immediately put me in Sabra. Loves Sabra, literally in this case, means Jew lover. So you're telling me you understand what a microaggression is, but you can't understand why a Jewish man might be uncomfortable with this. I feel like this is indefensible, blatant, obvious anti-Semitism.
But they put the fucking this is where I get so annoyed. Hasan's fan base are like, well, he claims to not be a good Muslim, he doesn't practice or whatever, right? And like all this shit, and then he gets fucking put at the very tippity top. He gets put at the very tippity top, but he is putting him in a position to where he can call other Muslims Uncle Tom because he's looked at in his community as the all-being shining light to all of Arab world. It's so gay and cringe, bro.
This was greenlit by Twitch to appear on their main stage.
You've got to be kidding me. They're saying Jew lover as a slur in the modern day. Is this To Kill a Mockingbird? Are we back in the 60s? All these anti-racists are calling people the equivalent of N-word lovers as an insult to those who disagree with them.
And again, these are the same people that judged me based on the thumbnail that I used for like the Keffels video. So to give you a quick idea to understand, putting 2 Jews in the F tier kind of gives you an idea of like where they're at. Arab being at the top, Jew being at the bottom, okay? This is literally hateful conduct occurring on the platform.
Let this be a lesson that those who are actually racist will do so openly and are proud of it. They don't try to hide it or apologize if they get accused of racism. This has always been the case. So anyway, a number of people noticed that Capcom, Samsung, and Chevron were sponsoring this racist panel, so they did a mass emailing campaign saying, hey, did you know that these people you were sponsoring were openly saying racial slurs right in front of your brand name? After this campaign, Hassan groupies, Frogan, and Denims got a 30-day ban on Twitch, to which I personally celebrated by getting some hummus at my local store. I mean,
by the way, I fucking hate hummus. My parents really like hummus, and whenever I like visit home, and like obviously my wife's family, everybody likes hummus around me, and I just can't fucking stand the shit. I just can't stand the shit. It's fine, like it's not the worst thing I've ever eaten, but it's just like I don't go on my fucking way to get fucking hummus. I'd rather get like that canned Fritos jalapeno bean dip. I'd much rather have that. It's so much better than fucking hummus.
They probably only got banned because they lost Twitch money and not for any moral reasons, because both of them have done way worse rule violations, but close enough. I'll take this as a win for justice. But all of this is to point out that the
By the way, I don't think they should have been banned at all. I'm going to stand on the thing that I don't think they should have been banned at all. And this is where I'm going to stand from the position, right? I'm going to stand from the position that I don't think it's up to these platforms. I don't think it's up to these platforms to ban people for this shit. I think that it should land in the legal arguments. Even when I was saying earlier, the thing about like defamation, all that, and that there is limitations to free speech. I don't think that it's up to these platforms to decide that. I think that they should let the legal system decide that and let those things fall where they lie. Let the company reach out to the creator or whatever. And don't get like, I don't think that YouTube should have to play intermediate. I think that it should all have to fall on the people. And that's where I sit at the end of the day, because I think a lot of these companies aren't going to go fucking mass attack, won't have the ability to mass attack these people anymore. Like, let's say you make a video where you don't even show, like, you don't even have like the audio or anything of it, like a minute, it's like a 5 or 15-second clip of a TV show, and all of a sudden you're getting a little fucking bar on your YouTube channel saying you're using copyrighted material. I'm not fucking utilizing the whole show. I'm talking about it. It's like, I don't see fucking Jimmy Fallon getting copyright claimed to hell when he shows fucking movie trailers because you're sucking him off. But it's just so funny to me that YouTube and these social media platforms are having to play intermediates for these companies. It's like, have the company fucking send a cease and desist to my fucking email, and then we'll go from there, right? Like, have it routed that way. I think that and it's also like with we're getting back to the whole Arab to Jew tier list thing. I don't really see it as anything that I think should be taken off the platform. I think it's up to the people involved to then have like those conversations between like, if like, let's say Ethan wants to sue them for defamation. Well, I mean, it's not really defamation in that situation, but let's say he wants to take action. Well, he can take action with his own lawyers, right? It shouldn't be up to fucking Twitch to make those decisions.
Hassan fan club has many members in it who don't like Jewish people very much, and that includes Noah Samsen, which brings us back to Noah's video. You see, ironically, Noah complained that Ethan was a liar who was lying by omission. Here's a reminder of that.
But it's that last thing that I think does quite a bit of damage, lying by omission.
What's funny is that if you actually watch Noah's video and aren't ideologically possessed, you can pretty easily notice that Noah does basically everything that he accuses Ethan of. This is a repeated tactic that he uses in a lot of his content, and I mean that it is uncanny how much important context that Noah either removes or completely leaves out for the purpose of radicalizing his audience and enraging them against his enemies. For example, a part of Noah's video was about people rightfully complaining that Hassan has violated Twitch rules numerous times by doing things like promoting a terrorist organization, and he's only gotten a 1-day ban for it, and only after Twitch started getting bad press. Yet Asmongold has a single moment where he said some bad stuff, and he got a 14-day ban. In his video...
And by the way, I don't think either of them should get banned. I really don't. And I talked about that in my video about Hasan getting banned. I don't think that he should get banned. I mean, even like I can tell that he was trying to be hyperbolic and like egregious, and I do think that he makes a joke about offing senators way too much, to the point that it almost feels like it's not a joke anymore. But at the same time, I think that if there's anything that can happen with that, I think it should be legal action from the government to Hasan, not from Twitch making the decisions. I really don't think that they should be held liable. Now, it's different if there's actual crime, like an actual crime being committed, like some dude's going into a store and robbing a store at gunpoint. Obviously, they should take that type of stuff down. Or like utilizing kids in a sexual matter. Obviously, that type of stuff should be taken down. There is like, because it's not speech anymore. That's not people talking. So there is an extent to where I think these platforms should step in, but I don't think they should step in just because like somebody's saying fucking egregious or stuff that could be deemed as racist or whatever. Even though I don't agree with that rhetoric that can be spread, I still think that they shouldn't be banned for it.
Noah talks about this ban and shows a clip of Asmongold saying some messed up things.
Asmongold made some comments that explicitly justified Israel's genocide of Palestinians in Gaza.
I'm not going to cry a fucking river when people who have genocide that's baked into their laws are getting genocided. They come from an inferior culture. I don't feel bad for them. I don't feel sorry for them. I don't care. I don't support them.
Noah actually shows this moment in both the videos that he's being sued for. And I'll agree that this clip is pretty bad. If you only saw that, you would think that Asmongold is a horrible person. This is the obvious conclusion that anyone would come to if you don't know much else about him, which probably describes most of Noah's audience. There's one problem though. Asmongold very famously apologized for these statements. Now, since 2 years ago, Noah boasted about his expertise in media literacy, I imagine that Noah didn't show Asmongold's apology so that his audience would believe that Asmon is evil. And to be more clear, Noah definitely knows what he's doing. He's not an idiot. He left that apology out on purpose to further radicalize his audience. There's no way that Noah didn't know about that apology, because not only was it a huge event on his part of the internet, but also that video of Mutahar's that he sourced mentioned it. So because in my opinion, Noah left that apology out intentionally, allow me to play some of it for the people who haven't seen it yet.
The last time you looked at a...
Yeah, again, I don't agree with what Asmon said. I don't think he should have been banned for it, but... And I don't think that Hasan deserves. I don't agree with, like, this is where I can stand. I can look at the hypocrisy and I can say yes, there's a blatant hypocrisy going on here. But I still am gonna stand on the position that I don't agree with Twitch's terms of service.
Days ago, I made some comments about Palestine and also about Hamas and some just general basically opinions that were trivializing the genocide that's happening there. I said something about it that was disgusting. I said that I didn't care about innocent people getting killed by another force, by anything. And I think that that's a horrible, disgusting, mean-spirited thing to say. Everybody who's come and spoken out and talked to me and said stuff about me, I want to say that I really appreciate you. And I think this has been something that's a long time coming. And I actually think that this is something that not only I deserved, but it's also something that I needed.
Now, is it possible that this clip might make some of Noah's audience feel less negatively towards Asmongold? One would think. I mean, I don't like Frogan, but I'm not such a jackass that I wouldn't at least mention that she apologized, sort of, for saying that U.S. soldiers deserve PTSD. So again, I think Noah leaves this stuff out on purpose. This is not about moral consistency.
I mean, and the problem about Progan too is this is where it's different. Like, here's what happened with Asmongold. Asmongold says the shit. He gets banned immediately. He gets blasted. The day it happens, like that day or the very next day, it was like very soon after it happened, he's apologizing. Difference was Frogan gets blasted. She goes on the next day while currently getting blasted, doubles the fuck down on it, laughs about it, calls it based, then gets banned, then apologizes, right? It took her getting fucking destroyed twice. It had happened to her twice after Double Down, and then she sort of apologized. It's not a great apology. It's not even a good apology. And that's where you can tell the difference, because like Asmon, like, actually went out and started changing things about his lifestyle, started doing some other, like, he cleaned his fucking house, like, damn. I mean, he came out and he said he was sorry. He said that he was in the wrong. It was like uncategorically didn't really defend himself, just fully said he was the fucking to blame in that shit. And then I looked at the Frogan situation, I'm like, Jesus, she still thinks she's in the right.
Good faith interaction. This is a game to him, and he's doing this stuff as like a sort of propaganda tactic to win whatever battle he thinks he's in. Or he's being paid to be this bad faith, though I have to say that Noah has gotten a lot more effective at propaganda and audience manipulation over the past year. Someone's been practicing. I actually had to put effort into counter-arguing this time because he's trickier now. There were a lot of subtleties that I missed on the first watch. probably the most effective tactic that Noah uses to encourage racism is emotional pulls. In writing, the way that you compel the audience to emotionally care about your characters is to give them a backstory that describes their relationships, their hopes and dreams, and their struggles. Also, if you can accurately align the aspects of your character's backstory with common experiences that your audience has had, they'll get even more emotionally attached to the person that you're talking about. Character backstories are how you can be sad at the idea of a person like John Wick dying, but you don't care about the hundreds of nameless people that he kills throughout the movie. You have the details on John Wick, but you never see random Hitman number 87's backstory and how the people in his life might deal with his death. This means that John Wick is humanized, but the random Hitman isn't. He's just a number, and that's done on purpose so the audience won't care about him. On the other side of humanization through backstory, you can also dehumanize a character and make the audience hate them by only showing their bad deeds. That being said, Noah is aware of this aspect of human psychology, which is why he spends what feels like most of the 2 videos on Ethan Klein telling stories about the hardships that the Palestinians have faced, and he even says that some of them are his friends. This is to get the audience to care about Palestine on an emotional level, which is fine, he can do that, and it does sound like innocent Palestinians have faced some pretty horrible atrocities like having family members die, being crippled, or being sexually assaulted. It's always terrible when innocent people are hurt in the crossfire of war, which is why I'm very anti-war and very against the use of violent tactics. However, remember that Noah's biggest criticism of Ethan Klein is that Ethan was lying by omission by not telling the Palestine side of the war. Well, this war is a two-way street, and both sides have done some pretty awful things. The problem here is that Noah only tells the Palestinian side of the story, while at the same time, this is how he represents the Israelis.
There's a comment I saw on Ethan Klein's video. It read, "I feel like a lot of people can't separate Israelis and the Israeli government, and the same with the other side. Like you are allowed to hate on the people who actually kill people and not hate the innocent adults and children that are being killed from both sides." This is a popular framing among liberals and liberal outlets, that we should separate the Israeli people from the actions of their government. While there are some examples from the past where this may be true, such as the case of the American public's attitudes towards the end of the Vietnam War, which diverged from their government, the same cannot be said in the case of Israel. The vast majority of the Israeli public supports this genocide. Months into the genocide, polling showed that over 95% of Jewish Israelis supported the IDF's actions, with a majority of those indicating that the IDF was not using enough force in Gaza. The force in question there being, genocide. They wanted more. It wasn't enough. This should come as no surprise, given Israel's history. A country that exists on the logic of ethnic supremacy and colonization requires a certain level of dehumanization to keep its inhabitants from collapsing under the weight of the reality of their rotten society.
Yeah, so those were some harsh words. Someone with 6,000 likes on his comment tries to humanize the innocent on both sides, while rightfully aiming blame at the evil people who are actually causing the war. Yet
bro,
no.
And this is why these people are fucking ideologically retarded, bro. So we're sitting here, and I'm betting money this poll happened after October 7th, which is how this shit works. Like, take for example, right, the U.S. after 9/11 happened, the entire country wanted to lay waste to everybody and everything. You had a rise of fucking of American patriotism that I don't think the U.S. has seen since. It was insane the amount of that the world the U.S. wanted to go to war. We wanted to just fucking lay waste to the entire world. That is why we were able to do we ended up going into stupid pointless wars in Afghanistan and the Iraq thing, and we're doing all this other shit that has nothing to do with Osama bin Laden, but we're doing it, and we supported it so vehemently because of the fact that we had a terrorist attack on American soil. We were the U.S. population was willing to sign off on anything at that moment, and that's kind of like the same sentiment that I could see after something obvious after October 7th. So depending on when that happened, when that poll was done, of course the Israeli population is going to be like, yeah, fucking lay waste to them. They killed my cousins and my nephew. Like, why the fuck wouldn't they say that, right? I mean, and is that right? No. But at the same time, I can understand the sentiment, and by leaving out that critical context, you could be completely misleading and lumping an entire group of people that, for the most part, in most days, like 99% of other days, would be like, yeah, I feel really bad for them. I don't want anything bad to happen to them. I don't want innocent people to die. To lay waste because they fucking killed a bunch of our people, right? Now, I don't want any innocent people to die. I don't like that innocent people are dying, but it sucks that that's just a part of war, right? It sucks that that's a part of this shit, and that's why I don't really make a hard stance for either Palestine or Israel, because to me, I just see people fucking killing people, and I just want it to stop, and I feel bad. I feel bad that people are dying on both sides.
Noah takes the radical approach and dehumanizes one side by saying, actually, the Israelis are evil and rotten. Noah spends quite a bit of time establishing that basically all, not some, but basically all Jews in Israel are a bunch of murderers. Now, by comparison, Ethan just said there were some terrorist groups that he didn't like, but a lot of innocent people have suffered on both sides, and maybe the Israelis and the Palestinians could figure out a peaceful two-state solution. On the other hand, Noah spends the entire time in both of his videos making the Israelis look like the most evil scumbags in the world. I can only imagine that he's doing this with the intent of making his audience violent. Noah continues.
And again, this is where it's just so funny that none of them pulled any actual context from the video. All they did was, because there's people out there that want to see both groups live in kind of, to live in this like harmony to an extent, right? They want them to just find peace. It's like, oh, well, you're the monster because you're downplaying a genocide. What the fuck are you talking about, dog? No, I know that it happened, but that doesn't mean that I want the other side to get genocided as well. I just want it to stop. Right? I think that's a fair point, that you just want it to stop and them to find a solution that would benefit both sides so that they both can live happy and healthy and stop killing each other. I don't think that's a crazy thing to want.
Anti-Israel messaging by showing a few interviews of Israeli citizens and their thoughts on Palestinians.
Something has changed with it.
Yeah, look at that stupid peacock logo. It's just so peacocky.
Ubiquitous genocidal fervor among Israelis
in the world. I can only imagine that he's doing this with the intent of making his audience violent. Noah continues his anti-Israel messaging by showing a few interviews of Israeli citizens and their thoughts on Palestinians.
Another way to get a handle on the seemingly ubiquitous genocidal fervor among Israelis is by just talking to them.
How many civilians have been killed in Gaza, from what you know?
Who gives a shit?
Okay, but don't you feel like, for example, children?
Children grow up to be Arabs. I read the numbers last week. My memory died and went to heaven. I don't think children should suffer, but they're always casualties. And since they do a lot of pru-revu, that is a natural result.
Most of the kids there that are getting killed, I never support little children dying, you know? I never want it. But most of them will grow up not only supporting Hamas, which is a crime by itself, but joining them, which is the worst of the worst.
These people know that they're on camera and that these remarks will be posted on the internet or shared on the mainstream news.
Yeah, but I mean, you could do the same thing. You could do the same thing. Get somebody to go over and talk to Palestinians and ask their opinion on, or not Palestinians, Hamas. You can go at, like, you can literally go and look at like Hamas and they got like death to the Jews shit written everywhere. So I mean, this goes to both sides. This is such a disgusting example of, oh well, we interviewed a few people and that, like, even the people, like, even the crazy lady was saying, I don't like when kids die. And the guy was like, I don't like when kids die. I just hate that they, that a portion of them grow up to then join Hamas. Like, what the fuck? Like, this is your example that all Israelis are evil and should die. So you support genocide, right? By that logic, you support genocide. All the Israeli people are evil and should die. And that's, so you want a genocide to happen. You just want the genocide for the group that you don't like. So you support genocide too, is kind of what I'm getting here. Right? And that's like the ultimate goal of, like, I feel like that he would be fucking throwing a celebration if Israel just all died off. Like, that's the vibe I'm getting. And I could be 100% in the wrong here. But so far, all I've gotten from these groups is like, oh, well, they're the ultimate bad guys and they should die. And the whole country should be cut out of the world and it should all be the Palestinians. And good. I don't like that. I think they have as much right to live as the Palestinians have right to live. Is that crazy? I think both sides deserve to have their own freedom.
This is normal to them. This is normal in their society, which is a testament to the fact that their society is not normal. Simply put, it's a genocidal society, top to bottom.
Now, I can agree that those are some very harsh words. However, people don't just say horrible things like this without a reason. Does Noah try to show why the Israelis are saying these things in an attempt to maybe add some nuance and not do the exact same thing that he accused Ethan Klein of? No, he doesn't. Noah never asked why Jewish people would say this stuff. Well, as someone who did basic research on this, maybe it has something to do with Hamas massacring people on October 7th. Like Noah, it turns out that I also happen to have a friend who lives in the area, so I thought I'd ask him about the Jewish perspective on why Israelis being interviewed in those clips said what they said. This was his response, and yeah, having missiles fired at you daily probably would make most people mad. My Israeli friend also notes that if there was peace, the negative feelings that the Israelis have towards the Palestinians would go away. And here's the thing. After talking to that friend, I went and watched the video that Noah took those interviews from, and it turns out that these people actually do say why they have such harsh feelings towards Palestinians, and Noah just cut around that. So let's add it back in.
Overall, the world does not really understand what's going on here. They do not understand, grasp the concept that Israel was attacked.
You know, everything is happening because of a group called Hamas, you know? Most of them, like around 75-ish%, despise Israel with everything that they hate about the world. Like, they hate everything about Israel. They don't want anything to do with us. They want us all dead, gone, and fucking, you know, they want my head on a spike. All they see in their head is just eliminating every single human being that doesn't support, you know, Islam. That's not Islamic. It's not Muslim.
Well, that changes things, doesn't it? Sure, they said some messed up things, but if Hamas wasn't also attacking innocent people, they wouldn't have those beliefs. Oh wait, it looks like Noah does show someone saying why she feels so negatively towards the Palestinians. Except, it's in a foreign language, so people have to read subtitles. This means that if they're multitasking while watching his video, which is very common with viewers, they won't see this added nuance. This is why when I make videos, I almost always repeat what the subtitles say if people are speaking in a foreign language. What Noah is doing here is something that I call a plausible deniability clause, where a dishonest creator will add nuance to make it look like they're being fair, but do so in such a way that nobody will notice it. This is so if someone criticizes Noah, he can say, no, I put that in the video, while at the same time, basically none of his audience caught it, so he won't have to risk them being swayed by nuance that isn't good for his point. I actually didn't notice what this person said until my second watch. Also, here's the thing. I'm aware that Noah loves to misrepresent people, and I'm guessing that he didn't expect anyone to actually go fact-check the material that he used, which is reasonable. A lot of creators are lazy. But since I actually watched the full video, I know that Noah basically only showed the most inflammatory things that were said. If you actually watch the video, you can see multiple Israelis sympathizing with the Palestinians. Here's one of them.
Free Palestine from Hamas, and don't hate us Jews, we're really nice people, and we love life.
We want peace. We just want peace, love, and rock and roll.
Yeah, man.
Okay, wait, and you're willing to have peace with Palestinians?
Yeah, of course.
Yes, anytime.
Anytime.
Send
with anybody, anyone. If they want peace, we want it.
So, Noah, as a journalist who's claiming to be more honest than these mainstream news outlets, why didn't you show this interview? Why did you only show the worst parts of this video? And for the people who did say bad stuff, why don't you cover what made them so radicalized against the Palestinians? Maybe discuss whether their feelings are justified or not based on factual reporting of the events. This is what an honest person who wanted a more peaceful outcome would do, making no effort.
But he doesn't want peace. He doesn't want peace. That's not what the rhetoric wants. That's not what his fan base wants. So he's appealing to his fan base by showing disingenuous bullshit. I mean, he's exhibiting what I like to call cum falcon behavior. He's a falcon flying through the sky, dripping in cum, spreading it everywhere he has to go, and wherever another falcon that's just like nice, he kills that other falcon and blows right by it because he's scared that falcon might poop on somebody, and we don't want poop falcon energy. We want cum falcon energy here. So only cum falcon energy is good enough to progress on, and that's what he is. He's a disgusting fucking cum falcon.
Humanize the Israelis or add nuance to their beliefs kind of makes it seem like you don't want a peaceful solution. It kind of makes it seem like you want violence. On top of that, Noah is so shameless in these two videos that he will even try to get his audience to hate young children by showing them saying things against Palestine.
The vile, dehumanizing racism that is required to uphold a project like this.
Because it's Palestine.
But I'm Palestinian. Does that mean I'm a
Yes.
I'm a Do you want Palestinians in Gaza to die?
Yes.
All of them?
Yes.
Random children on Omegle is considered to be strong enough evidence for Noah to put it in a video.
Bro, we're gonna be using Omegle. Dude, Omegle is where people go to just like be unabashedly awful all the time. Dude, have you not seen the clips from Omegle? There is literally just an account somewhere where it's just like a Kermit the Frog talking about how hot girls are and then showing a cucumber like it's its dick. Like, and how often do you see clips from Omegle where it's just people saying the N-word to, like, black people? That's, like, half of Omegle. Omegle is, like, the place to be as awful as fucking humanly possible. Now, I don't think that was its intended purpose, but I feel like that's what it's become. I mean, there was, like, kick streamers who, like, unabashedly tried to, like, rizz up girls. That's their whole fucking channel, is just trying to flirt with girls, and half of them are underage. Omegle is, like, an awful place. It is such a bad pull, and you can tell those girls are, like, laughing and stuff because it's, like, they don't plan on their shit being put on YouTube. What they're planning on is just fucking being cringe kids. It's just like when you and your boys, when you were kids, were being edgy on Twitter or some shit. It's just such a bad fucking example.
Great journalistic integrity, man. Also, Noah left out the part where the children recognized the guy, and it looked like they were purposefully trying to say the most messed up thing possible because they're kids, and also this guy's kind of a dick to people on his channel. I don't know, he has like multiple pinned videos of little kids that are clearly designed to turn you into a racist, as well as a number of other videos with millions of views on them that feature children under 12 saying things that he knows his audience will hate. Did their parents consent to them being on film? This guy is suspicious. I don't trust him. Anyway, I cannot stress this enough that Noah is 100% suggesting that basically all Israelis
Well, and you know that this guy, what he does for his channel, and this is what almost probably all these people do for On Omegle, is they probably go through until they find somebody that'll say awful stuff, and then they repost that to their channel because they know that's going to get the most views. They will, every once in a while, post somebody that agrees with them, put some, like, fucking happy music that, oh, the world's not all bad, and then they'll go back to everybody being dicks, and then the world's not all bad. Every Omegle person does this. Every single channel that utilizes Omegle does this shit.
are reprehensible. Earlier, he even showed polling data to emphasize that, and he ends his first video by saying this.
I've been using Grammarly for 3 years, and I can't...
I mean, it's just like, if somebody used this disingenuous of reporting to the other side, I would call it out too, because I'm sure there's just people watching this that are like, oh, well, you're just supporting this because, no, dude, this is like one of the most disingenuous fucking things I have seen. And it comes from a guy who has proven categorically time and time again that he's willing to lie and omit evidence to prove that he's a piece of shit on the internet. Like, he's a little fucking goofy doofy boy. He's a fucking douchebag. I don't know what else to tell you.
7th blew the lid off the genocidal Israeli project. October 7th is the reason you're here watching this video today. Israel's response to it has radicalized a generation of people by exposing the Israeli state and its backers in the West for what they are: depraved, ethnic supremacist, genocidal lunatics. That's the truth.
Keep in mind that he never goes into detail on the Jewish perspective of October 7th. He just calls them lunatics and moves on.
So he shows some clips of young Israelis basically supporting genocide of Palestinians, right? The argument that you can make for that is that they're so young and yet they support such violent actions. So couldn't you justify killing young Israelis based off of the clips that Noah Samsen has shown? Can't you justify a genocide of Israeli people if they're inherently evil or inherently bad? Like, you basically, what I'm saying is that Noah Samsen, without actually deliberately saying it, he is advocating for Israeli genocide. Like, this is literally what Noah Samsen is doing.
Now let's get to the.
Okay, I want to be like fair real quick. I'm gonna be honest. Food shops, like using food shops as an example for this shit and using it as an argument. Food Shops is one of the most disingenuous YouTube channels on the entire fucking platform. It is wild to use Food Shops. Food Shops is a newer YouTuber, and their whole thing is about fucking hating on like Nuxanor, hating on Asmongold. Let me pull up Food Shops real quick. We'll go to a new tab. Food Shops they're terrible. They're not a great channel. They lie as much as Noah Samsen does. Food Shops is like such bad faith. Like I'm sure Food Shops. All right, here we go. Jordan Peterson breaks down crying on Piers Morgan 19 hours ago. He's done I hate these people. Obviously, it's like actual moron. I never endorsed Donald Trump. Yeah, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The reason, like, this, she, fucking, what's his face, fucking Think Before You Sleep saw this video, which has a great thumbnail, watched it because it supported his point, and then just didn't look into the rest of this person's channel. I have trouble believing anything that Food Shop says because half of fucking, like, a whole channel is just based on hating Asmongold. Like, you can say what you want about me, right? You can say that I've shit on Hasan a bunch, but if you look at my channel, right? If you go to my channel here, and we go to what I've covered, right? Let's see if I can find my last Hasan video. Oh, there we go. 1. So we can lump this one in with Hasan, right? Well, we'll do that. With this one too. I think this one we can lump in because, yeah, this has to do with the Ethan Klein drama. We'll go 1, 2, 3. That's different. 3. Well, no, I agree. I agree that he's not that bad. 4. I don't know. I have like 5 to 10. I mean, it's the same thing about like David Jaffe. I got like 5 to 6 videos on each of them, right? And counting this one that I'm making right now, you could probably lump this in for like the Hasan worldview. But for the most part, I don't spend my entire life just fucking hyper focused. And this is the problem with people. Like, I remember during Gamergate, you had what was the fucking dude's name? Oh, hey, what's up? Say what now? Asmongold isn't even controversial. Isn't the guy pretty reasonable? People just want him to be radicalized douche. No, I agree. I think Asmongold pushes back when he wants to, and he's kind of socially liberal. I don't hate Asmongold. I like him okay. I don't agree with everything he says, but I don't think you should agree with everybody you're watching says. But here's the thing, right? Like, look how much this whole channel is dedicated to anti-Asmongold things. This looks like this has more shit on. I mean, Ethan Klein Twitch banned for 30 days over extreme. Like, this is Hasan supporting nonsense. But she also hates I think food shops as a girl. I don't know. I'm not like the biggest food shop fan. I find her to just be insanely hyper focused on hating Nuxanor and Asmongold to the point that it's just like, it's annoying, dude. I fucking hate food shops, and I don't like that he used her as an example because it's one of the most disingenuous people on the platform. I'm trying to Sargon of Akkad. That's who it was. Fucking Sargon on Sargon of Akkad is the guy that I was talking about, where Sargon of Akkad basically nuked the entire Gamergate movement by attaching it to Trump, like to the point where he stopped like talking about Gamergate, and also hyperfixating on that one bitch that started it all, to the point that it just like, it was ridiculous. He made like 100 videos on this bitch. It was like so pointless when he could have like made videos about other topics, and like I think this is my problem with a lot of the people that get hyper focus on shit. What they do is they refuse to look at other sources and broaden their horizons and get different information here, different information there, find different things to kind of latch onto and to bolster their own opinions. What they do is hyper focus on something until they just kind of become what they hated about the other person. And that's kind of what I get out of food shops. Is the channel left or right? Because people from both sides write about them. From what I've gotten of food shops and what I've listened to of their channel, food shops is kind of Hasan meat writer leftist, but almost starts to come off like Destiny. It's kind of like if Destiny was a Hasan fan, is what I get from food shops.
The reasoning for why I showed you all these clips of Noah dehumanizing the Israelis and also dehumanizing creators like Mutahar.
And again, I don't fault Think Before You Sleep for utilizing that clip, because I think even people that I don't like, that I find disingenuous 90% of the time, if like let's say if Mussolini said murder is wrong, Mussolini would be correct in that statement, even though I don't agree with Mussolini as a person. I think Mussolini, for the most part, was an awful, like, even the Italians hated Mussolini. Mussolini was one of the most evil people in all of human history, but that doesn't mean that when somebody's right, they're right?
Ethan Klein, after showing numerous videos of innocent Palestinians being harmed while dehumanizing the Israelis as much as possible, he says this.
The liberal framework of thought is only able to conceptualize actors in conflict as being good and bad. Israel's far-right government is bad, Ethan says, but so are terrorists. Genocide is bad. I don't agree with genocide, of course, but hijacking ships is bad too. It's against the law, which is bad. Everybody should just stop doing bad stuff. Okay, well, Israel's not stopping. They're not stopping the genocide. The US is not stopping its arms shipments so that Israel can continue that genocide. That is the material reality.
But here's where they omit the evidence, or the stuff where it's like attacking ships that have nothing to do with Israel. Like the one example with the Houthi or Houthi Luffy fucking was over there just holding Chinese ship captains hostage, which had nothing to do with the Israeli movement or the anti-Israeli movement. Like, had nothing whatsoever. So we have a Luffy Houthi out here just fucking doing whatever the fuck he wants, being a pirate all day long, but what the fuck? What the fuck does this have to like? You act like every ship they attack is for the resistance, man. No, dude, they're just doing this shit because fuck, who knows why? They want a little extra money. They want to hold some people hostage. They want to prove that they're big boys in their fucking little helicopters. It's fucking gay and cringe.
If you actually want that genocide to stop, you need to do something material to try to stop it. And so far in the world, the only people doing that outside of Gaza militarily are Hezbollah and Ansar Allah. If you spend all your time attacking these groups while sitting on the sidelines, idealistically opining on what forms of resistance are acceptable to you, then you're supporting the genocide. Full stop.
To be clear, he's saying violence. You need to do something material to stop it means violently attack people. But he won't outright say that because he's afraid of getting a channel strike. Actually, it's worse than that because Noah is saying here that if you don't support violence, then you're pro-genocide. And believe it or not, it gets even more worse than that as Noah goes full mask off in the next clip.
People living in the West have the most power over anyone else in the world to stop the genocide. We are living in the belly of the beast. We have direct geographical, physical access to the politicians, the propagandists, the weapons companies, and the supply chains that are facilitating this genocide. Protesting is great. We should keep doing that. But also, I feel like we have to be honest with ourselves. 17 months in, and what is protesting actually accomplished? Raising awareness? Sure. Divestment? Yeah, in some places. But really, politically, materially? Nothing. Israel just killed the most children in its history in a single night with total impunity, with a deafening silence among the Western media. If we want this genocide to stop, it's time to escalate. That's all I'm saying. So anyways, yes.
See, you can lay it out very easily, one sentence at a time. It's quite clear. We in the West have direct physical access to a bunch of people, including the propagandists, after just labeling a bunch of people creators, propagandists. What does protesting achieve? Well, some things, but overall, basically nothing. If we want this to stop, we need to escalate. That's all I'm saying. I'm sorry. If you had a clear vision for what needs to be done to stop the genocide, you would say it because you want to direct your audience into something fruitful. Unless the thing you want your audience to do is against TOS. Criminal, violent, etc. He's calling for people to do dirty work for him. That's what this is. It is unambiguously a call for violence, okay? I'm sorry. And he doesn't want to spoil his cute little life. He doesn't want to fuck his income and ruin the little...
yeah, so he gets his useful idiots. I mean, it's so funny how he... Okay, so this is the useful idiot, the useful idiot staircase, right? We're gonna fucking pull up a picture of staircase, and we're gonna go useful idiot staircase. All right, we're gonna go images. I'm gonna find one that is useful for my example here. This will work. This will work. This will work. This will work. So we got a staircase here, right? We got a staircase. On this top stair, we have like the shit that's going on, right? We have the shit that's going on. And then they need useful idiots. They need useful idiots to propagate. They need useful idiots to propagate what they want you to say, right? So you go from here where it's like, oh, we have this problem, we have this thing, we need useful idiots. You then get people like fucking Hasan that will run like terrorist propaganda films and music videos, and but he won't do like everything. He's not gonna go out here. He knows that he's too big to do too much, right? So he just does just enough to get it by. But he knows that he has another useful idiot. This other useful idiot is fucking Noah Samsen. Noah Samsen has a smaller audience, so he can get away with saying a little bit more. So he says things that are laced, that lead to that are calls to violence, but they're not calls to violence, but they're mostly calls to violence. And he is useful idiot on the next step. And this useful idiot watches this useful idiot's content to boost this useful idiot's content. So they are leeching off of each other and both being making themselves more powerful. So he now has so this useful idiot that can't say all the things he wants to say has this useful idiot that he can just now fall on the fact that he's not actually supporting everything he's saying. He didn't say those words. This useful idiot said them. Now then there's endless amounts of other useful idiots that follow both of these guys that will propagate and defend them on endless amounts of times. And then on the bottom step, there are the people that aren't just defending and running force, that show up into every video that are made about them and don't watch any counteracting opinions and are out there just fucking fighting the good fight in terms of protests and shit commenting on anything that makes fun of these two morons. Then there is the last useful idiots, the ones that actually hear the message and out in God's violence. Now, these two will never support these people. These people will say that these guys are the ones actually getting the shit done, but these two will never come out and outright defend them, but they are knowing that those last step of useful idiots are what they wanted all along. And that is the stairs of useful idiots.
cushy career that he's got a hold of. He doesn't want to do that. He wants other people to fuck up their lives and get thrown in jail or whatever else for him.
Let me repeat what that guy Lonerbox just said. Noah spends his whole video calling people like Ethan Klein genocide-supporting propagandists. Here's some clips of that so we're all on the same page.
The other piece of Zionist propaganda cited by Ethan in his video, aside from this video being a nonsensical genocidal propaganda piece, in the content nuke, he doubles down with this sort of propagandizing for the state of Israel. These people feel no shame. They're here to make money and to convince themselves that they aren't evil. And the way they do that is by lying, by spreading liberal Zionist propaganda.
So after he calls these people propagandists with a title and thumbnail that says they support genocide, after he says the correct response to this is violence, he then says, we have direct geographical access to the politicians and the propagandists. Protesting has not worked. It's time to escalate. FBI, hello? Noah Samsen just told his followers to go kill creators he doesn't like. It is abundantly clear that Noah just told people to go attack every propagandist in this thumbnail. Now, if you're wondering why we had to watch someone reacting to what Noah said instead of the original video.
Well, and I love that he, I'm going to say one other thing that I don't think is getting covered yet. The fact that he said that it is all off of, they do it for profit, right? They do it for profit. But now we're not going to watch all of his bullshit because I don't want to. But you look at this, right? Not a single one of these has, if you click on his videos.
Israel is currently in...
I don't see that his monetization is going to anything but him. That's kind of weird. I just see that it's got normal shit. I don't see any. I mean, maybe he doesn't monetize the channel. Maybe he's just doing this for the love of the game, baby. I mean, let's see.
Time is running out.
Oh no, we got an ad. So he's not doing it for the love of the game. That's weird. That's quite odd. I think Hero Hay does a lot. Let's see here. I think, oh, that's weird. These all have fundraiser underneath them. So a portion of their monetization goes to fundraising. It's weird. It's, my butthole is puckering, Batman. My butthole is puckering, Batman. Looks like here. Now I'm not saying Hero Hay you should like listen to everything they say or they're 100% right on everything. I do like Hero Hay's content, but it's funny. The guy who says that these people are that a group of people are just out there profiting off of it. Everything's about profit. It's weird that none of his videos are fundraisers for Palestine. It's almost funny that his audience that watches his videos and all the ad revenue he makes is off of, goes right to his pocket. If he really cared, you'd think that he would make a portion of his videos, fundraisers so that, part of the money goes, or he would have fundraisers attached so he was actually helping fund these people he cared so much about. But, no, he's doing it for the fucking profit as well. Wow, what a fucking shockity-wockety, dude. What a fucking surprise. I love all these people that like to, like, shit on people. Oh, like, Ethan, he just gave 6,000 because he only kind of cares about the Israel pilots. He did it for a virtue signal, but it doesn't seem like you're fundraising a lot for Israel or for the Palestinian people. It seems like you're doing this for money as well.
Video, it's because Noah went into the YouTube editor and deleted that statement after he got called out for very obviously telling his audience to go commit acts of violence.
Okay, so that's what he said, but then it comes after this sentence here, and then that's where, so you try and stop it. People living in the West.
Right.
There it is, he chopped it. What an absolute fanny. Well, we saved it at least.
Make no mistake, this was clearly a call to action for violence from Noah. He knows who he's talking to. I'm sure he's very aware that basically all the political violence in America, outside of maybe a single day in 2021, has been caused by the left. Antifa, BLM, people burning Teslas, effectively
the day he's talking about is January 6th. January 6th was definitely a big fucking L for the right. Big L for the right. They were out there getting... Dude, when Alex Jones is standing in front of the Capitol, listen, guys, listen. You don't go to the Capitol. Yeah, it's a little bit far, guys. When Alex Jones is telling you it's a bit fucking far and you guys still bust into the Capitol, you guys are fucking retarded. You've, like... This is why I don't stand by all of the January 6th people getting fucking pardoned. Because when Alex Jones is telling you to get the fuck away from it and stop, and you do it anyway, you're the fucking extremist, dog.
Every violent political act over the past 10 years in America has been caused by the radical left. Now, Noah spends a lot of time pretending that he's this innocent nice guy who doesn't know things, but he's not stupid. He just pretends to be to get sympathy. In reality, he knows exactly how his audience is going to interpret what he said. And one of the things that Noah does not address from Ethan Klein's video is the part where Hasan got exposed for admitting to trying to rope viewers into extremist beliefs by easing them into it.
Why is everybody putting up with
I mean, I love the fact that, It's so funny to me when people have like a direct bias. Now, I obviously have a direct bias and don't want to like these people because I don't like Hasan and I find him disingenuous. But I love that somebody's like, well, I don't, I'm going to ignore all of the evidence that refutes my claims, and I'm just going to keep hating it. I mean, I do that with Naruto because I fucking hate Naruto, and I think it's funny to keep memeing on the fact that I hate Naruto, and I'm going to double down into oblivion on how much I hate it. But, like, in all reality, most of the time, I'm not going to just sit here and say that, like, everything about Naruto is bad all the time. I think there is good to the show, but that's not fun for me, so I want to keep shitting on it. These guys aren't doing it for a meme. They're doing it to be disingenuous and try to radicalize people. That's a whole different perspective.
Like this, where Hasan is explaining how he's hiding his power level to funnel in normies into radicalization.
I think that in the short term, in order to combat against that, you have to advocate for a much lighter form of propaganda. You want America, in the way that I feel about it, and if you want America to get out of the way for places with more revolutionary potential to do what they would normally do, I think that, you know, one thing you have to do is advocate for a lighter form, while simultaneously still doing agitated propaganda that goes beyond, you know, social democratic ideas.
I just wanted to put emphasis on the exact point of the so-called radicalization funnel, where, for example, Hasan and JT catch them while they're young, as they say, and then they start looking into this new idea, etc., and then move forwards through the funnel, get more and more informed, get more and more radicalized. You do your part in the funnel for the cause, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. You're doing, in my modest opinion, a great thing for the cause.
This is evil. Now,
it is evil. This is evil. The radicalizing people with presenting yourself as a genuine and reliable source, but actually deceiving your audience to slowly radicalize them into the behavior you want out of them is disgusting. This is actual weaponized misinformation, which is so funny because these people like to propagate the fact that misinformation is being used by the right or whatever, when they are purposely doing it to radicalize their audience to the degree, and they talk about, like, it's another thing where you hear like the right-wing far-right pipeline or whatever, and then you have Hasan on a fucking podcast talking about a far-left pipeline, and people signing off on it like it's not a big deal.
Last time I did a video on Noah, I said I couldn't tell if he was just dumb or had malicious intent. Now it's very clear that Noah and Hasan both had malicious intent this whole time.
Stand on your shit, bro. You want someone to kill me? Okay, stand on it, bro. Why erase it now, fuck? I mean, this guy's legitimately should be on an FBI terrorist watch list. Like, legitimately.
We are living in the belly of the beast. We have direct geographical, physical access to the politicians, the propagandists.
He's saying kill the politicians. I mean, there's no way to even, he can't pretend that that's not what he's saying. He's saying we need to escalate. We know where they are.
We are, there is kind of a, so I know that he's not exactly saying that, and I'm not going to say that I think that these guys are being a bit hyperbolic in hating him, and they're wanting him to say those things. I think they're blowing it a lot out of proportion, rightfully so, but also wrongfully so. It's one of those that it's like, that's not exactly what he's saying. I think that, no, but it is what he's saying. See, this is what I hate about the snaky shit, because there's so much deniability that can happen here, where he can now look at these people like Ethan Klein or whatever this guy's name is. I don't know who this channel is. You'll have to let me know in the comments below, but whoever this guy is. And he can say, look at them pulling me out of context. Look at them putting words into my mouth. Because of the fact that he never actually say it, he just alluded to it. He just left enough room for interpretation to where he thinks that he can then utilize, well, bad actors will want me to say this, so they're putting those words in. I took it out because I knew bad actors were already, and this is just giving somebody like Noah Samsen more ammunition.
That means
this whole thing confuses me. Isn't this the same asshat who spent like an hour and a half last year lecturing me about audience responsibility because people wrote mean comments that you can block on his friend's video? Like, what the fuck? This is the same guy, Noah Samsen, right? Blockable mean comments are bad, but political violence, well, that's just fine.
On December 21st of last year, the Storytime animation YouTuber Illymation released a video called Perks of Being the Fat Kid. 2 months later, the anti-woke YouTube channel Think Before You Sleep responded to Illy's video in a video titled Fat Acceptance Cartoon. Right after Sean posted this response, the comment section on Illy's video went through some changes. It was flooded with hate comments, threats, threats, insults, inflammatory accusations. Also a lot of anti-Semitism, so that's kind of weird.
That last one was wild. Imagine Noah Samsen calling you an anti-Semite less than a year ago because of some shit or random
Again, dude. Again, they're fucking succubuses, bro. These fucking losers are succubuses. They jump in and they suck. They attach to a cause, right? And they just suck on it and suck on it and suck. And then once they realize that that cause is dried out and they need a new cause, and they see some crazy shit going on down with bodies piling up, their eyes fucking widen, right? Their eyes widen. They're like, ooh, I can utilize that to make profit on the internet. I'm gonna go jump over to that cause because it seems to start getting some like momentum. And then all of a sudden, they're over there doing that thing, and they don't give a fuck about that original cause because it's not useful to them anymore, and they're not useful to it, and they got the fucking, they're back on, they jumped on a new staircase of being a useful idiot.
Commenter wrote after like 50 different YouTubers reacted to a drama that you were involved in. This is the same guy, the guy who just made 2 videos calling Israeli Jews a bunch of rotten murderers, called me an anti-Semite because of words other people wrote. I'm not kidding, less than 12 months ago, Noah Samsen was literally saying that creators have a responsibility to make their audience play nice, and now he's essentially telling people to go burn shit down and assault YouTubers that he doesn't like. Actually, speaking of Ethan Klein, to add a little bit more context that I'm sure that Noah was aware of, a bunch of people who I'm guessing were radicalized by Hasan or his groupies called the CPS to try and get Ethan Klein's children taken away.
I knew this content nuke was going to draw a lot of negative attention, seeing how extreme Hasan and his fan base are, and his orbiters. But the lengths to which they've gone to harass us and get revenge for going after their god king Hasan has frankly gone beyond any type of point of civility and humanity, to the point where they're calling CPS, Child Protective Services, to come to our house and break up our family.
By the way, this is disgusting behavior, and this is where I went from laughing at this and it was just 2 retards fighting to there is nothing after Hasan didn't come out and make a statement. All he had to do was like a 3-minute video, bro. Any of these fucking clowns had to do was make a 3-minute video where they said, I don't condone any of this happening, but they couldn't even do that because he had the audacity. Ethan had the audacity to jump off their fucking little circle jerking orbit sphere and jump out of there off the bed of the truck and say, I'm gone, you guys get the fuck out of here, I don't want to be any part of you. Because he had the audacity to do that, you guys think that he's like some vicious monster, and now that he's this vicious monster in your eyes, and what we've seen with these guys time and time again, and with Noah Samsen in this video, is they will allow this shit to go on, and they will allow the violence and the rhetoric to attack them as much as humanly possible, unless people are attacking people they care about. Then it matters, then they care. It's just so, the double standards speak so loud. They're in a microphone basically saying, if you get mad at us, we will use all the things against you, but if we get mad at you, we're safe, and you deserve it because you're a fucking vicious genocide denier.
On Friday morning, an agent showed up to our house saying that they had received an anonymous tip that our children were crawling around in dog shit, eating dog shit, and contracting diseases. Not only have they called CPS on us, now they're starting to try to call in a 5150 to get me committed. All these people, incidentally, who are promoting this type of insanity are, in fact, childless and will likely remain that way.
So Noah Samsen knows that he's talking to people who are so shameless that they'll go after a guy's children merely because he criticizes Hasan Piker. And Noah will tell those people in his video to go out and do more things like that. Like I said...
And it's insane to me that people can be out here saying this vicious shit like Denims and Hasan and shit, and they can get away with it, or that fucking bad empanada douchebag. And it's funny that you can make a video and you will just have like endless hate comments because people are so fucking entrenched and they've slid down that Hasan pipeline so fucking hard that they passed his fucking colon and he's about to throw them up, to the point that they're willing to defend the fact that people called CPS on him. It's disgusting. This is shit that would have been like absolutely endless amounts of content would have been made about this motherfucker and how bad he was a few years ago, but because he's fucking Hasan, he gets away with it, and it's disgusting. And because they're friends with Hasan, they get away with it, and it's fucking disgusting. I don't get it, dude. I really don't get it.
This is evil. He will attempt to aid in having children being alienated from their parents because someone on the internet doesn't like a friend of his. How are you the good guy here? Now, for those of you who are beginners to Noah Samsen, this is not the first time he's expressed violent tendencies. For those of you who don't know, Noah got into his first big drama with Vosh for defending a person named Professor Flowers who believed in violently attacking white people for things their ancestors did.
With multiple income sources.
Which is fucked. You are not the sins of your father. Like, that is so blatantly obvious that you should not be beholden to the faults of the people before you. You are your own person. And I hate that society has gone into lumping everybody together in these fucking boxes.
Now, for those of you who are beginners to Noah Samsen, this is not the first time he's expressed violent tendencies. For those of you who don't know, Noah got into his first big drama with Vosh for defending a person named Professor Flowers who believed in violently attacking white people for things their ancestors did.
I'm not saying that people should just commit genocide. I'm saying there's so many different responses to colonization.
You
People
said they would have the right
to
to
determine
remove
what
them.
to do.
You said they would have the right to remove them.
I think if they decided like, hey, we don't want the people who colonized us to stay here, let's figure out a way to like have them move or something like that. I think that'd be very harsh. Again, that's something that I would agree with. But I think the people who are colonized should have the self-determination to decide what to do about the people who have colonized them.
Okay, what you're saying is that any state that can justify its sense of persecution, therefore has a right to engage in genocide against ethnic minorities within their borders. Every tyrannical regime does this. No tyrannical regime in history has ever said, yep, we're on top, we're the bad guys, we're just killing for fun. They always construct a narrative of persecution, and whether that narrative is correct or not really doesn't make much of a difference.
In case you didn't catch this earlier in the video, note that Noah called Jews...
Was that just a fucking massive Vosh W? I don't like to give Vosh W's very often because I think he's a fucking clown, and he talks about how he does the same thing that Hasan does. He is very open about how he tries to funnel people into more hardcore left-wing ideology, but like that was like just like blatantly obvious that this lady is just insane. Like, here's the thing, dude. Yes, this like areas were colonized. Yes, was it probably bad? Absolutely. But does that have any effect on today's society? No. We are so far removed from that shit that you're just fucking whining. Grow the fuck up, dog.
Colonizers. So I'm assuming that in his eyes, everything Professor Flowers said about white people also applies to Jews. Now, let me just say that the gaslighting from Professor Flowers was so rampant in this debate that it was genuinely difficult to cut a short clip that accurately describes her beliefs. But if you watch the full debate, it is very clear that Professor Flowers believes that if you were a white descendant in any country that was conquered by white people, as far back as hundreds of years ago, then the non-white conquered population has every right to steal property from innocent whites, forcefully relocate them, and go as far as to kill them if they refuse to leave their homes. I repeat, she openly said that you should be able to do this to innocent people who took no part in the atrocities of the past that took place as far back as hundreds of years ago. Now, this was all done with very passive language and, oh, I'm not saying I would use violence if it was me, but when she was pushed on it, make no mistake that Professor Flowers had some incredibly extreme, violent beliefs. The point is that a drama that involved Noah Samsen defending Professor Flowers and her incredibly radical ideology is what initially he was known for before Hasan boosted his channel by reacting to all of his videos. Promoting violent narratives is not new for Noah Samsen, and these people are so radical that they make Vosh look like a moderate by comparison. Noah has also made multiple public threats to people. Here's him liking a tweet saying Vosh should be killed. Here's him outright defaming Chud Logic and saying he should also be killed. Here's Noah saying Alex Jones should be killed. And finally, the thing that got him banned from Twitter, a death threat to Elon Musk. Which is weird because just last week, an ex-girlfriend of his went onto the H3 podcast to accuse him of owning a Tesla.
Did you ever see him drinking Coke or playing Disney games, perhaps?
You know, I can't recall that, but I do know that he drives a Tesla. So that.
Oh, that's scandalous.
Noah isn't the only violent one. Hasan is right up.
That's so funny, bro. I love that Ethan's just fucking strong arming using the same tactics that these guys use against them, because like he's going in with the same mentality that they've used because like he used to be one of them, and the fact that he's using their same tactics against them, and you might be like, oh, it's so cringe that he brought his Noah's ex-girlfriend on. Bro, this is the same. He's going after the same group that brought on Elon Musk's daughter to try to make Elon Musk look bad. Of course he's gonna do this shit. He was one of them, dog. He's using their own tactics against them. That's why this is one of the best examples of two retards fighting we've had on the internet in a very long time.
They're with him saying that his political opponent should be re-educated.
If you're in a socialist country with multiple parties, and one of the parties is a capitalist party, which would surely exist, what would you do if that party started gaining momentum?
The solution to that would always be education and offering more...
Re-education?
Re-education, certainly, yeah. There should be an enforcement mechanism, and in that enforcement mechanism, I think like rehabilitation, which would include re-education as well.
Tell me, how exactly would these people be re-educated? I mean, Hasan says no camps in the full context, but remember he's hiding his power level. And in the same way that I don't understand how Professor Flowers intends to steal property and relocate innocent whites without using force, I don't understand how you would re-educate a devout capitalist into your socialist paradise without the use of force. So personally, I think he's intentionally softening the language here to make people more...
Of course there is softening the language. I mean, it's all... well, you can spew as much ideological or idealistic bullshit as you possibly want and pretend like the force was never implied, because it's all... You live in this little utopia in your mind, but in actuality, you know what you're doing. You know what you're saying. You know what would have to happen. You know the steps that would be needed to be applied to make this shit happen. You're just pretending they're not there so that you have some deniability.
Accepting of something that would be ultimately very cruel if it was actually carried out. Hasan also called on his audience to murder a senator named Rick Scott. I believe that's what got him the 24-hour ban. Very peaceful of him. Oh, and also, since Ethan so kindly put this super clip together, here's a bunch of moments where Hasan's fan club is also saying violent shit.
I mean, it's like we can... This is the thing that's so funny. I don't know another person that has, like, this much, like, angry vitriol that is, like, has this much, like evil vitriol put out there and is able to sustain such a powerful platform. But then I remember Twitch just banned anybody that had any so here's the thing: if you have like one extreme group and they're protected, but the other extreme group is deplatformed and kicked off because they're deemed too bad. Now, I don't agree that either extreme is right. I think they're both fucking cringe little fucking shit goblins running into your house, covering your house in fucking poop follicles. I do think that they're bad, but I don't want them, either of them, deplatformed, because between those two fucking retards yelling on either end of the spectrum, most people will graduate back toward the middle because they realize how fucking stupid both sides are, right? But when you're actively silencing one voice to kind of push up another voice, you're going to have these people feel like they can get away with more and more.
It's actually carried out. Hasan also called on his audience to murder a senator named Rick Scott. I believe that's what got him the 24-hour ban. Very peaceful of him. Oh, and also, since Ethan so kindly put this super clip together, here's a bunch of moments where Hasan's fan club is also saying violent shit.
Let the streets soak in their fucking red capitalist bloods.
And this isn't just a Hasan problem. It underscores a disturbing trend among leftists on Twitch. The problem is, if you can believe it, these people are frequently making death threats and facing zero consequence. I know it sounds far-fetched, but I assure you it's very real.
Listen, I'll up the number, okay? 30K to anyone who'll make this dipshit disappear.
Bro, that Destiny guy needs to get Not gonna fucking lie.
It would just be so easy to just, it would solve all of our problems. Like, we would have socialism now at this point, right? We would have socialism at this point if someone just went out of their way and it would be so easy.
Thing that happens, I mean, like, holy shit, guys. If you live in Florida, I have an opportunity for you. If you want to earn $100,000, let me know.
Actually, Mike from PA, the dude that's stuck in the before image of a transformation story, did receive a 3-day ban.
This man put a bounty on a fellow streamer's head. This man should not be getting a 3-day suspension. He should be getting a knock on his door from the FBI.
Going back to Noah, one last point. I actually knew about this during the Alienation drama last year, but I withheld it because there wasn't enough evidence to connect them together. But it's really funny that Noah made this whole big deal about doxing last year, when he seems to be like YouTuber best friends with Bad Empanada, who is someone who was well known for doxing before the Alienation drama.
For a more thorough breakdown of all of this video's problems, I'd recommend the YouTube channel Bad Empanada.
Yes, Noah knows that Bad Empanada doxed someone and threatens his opponents, because Noah was supposed to go on a live stream with Bad Empanada a while back after October 7th, but I believe he mysteriously ghosted that Bad Empanada stream after his followers told him how terrible of a person he was.
What about Noah Samsen?
Noah said that he can't come on. I'm not sure if he can't come on because he got yelled at by Vosh pedophile fans, or because he just actually can't come on. But it's one of those things.
Doxing isn't the worst thing that Bad Empanada has done either. I guess Noah has decided that he doesn't care now. You know, the irony of him being friends with and promoting a doxer after he was so against doxing when he made the Alienation video is insane. I don't know, maybe he decided to turn against Alienation because she's Jewish. Wait, that can't be the case. I forgot. Noah is a humanitarian who just wants to help people out. He's just a nice guy who's making this content out of the pure kindness of his heart. The other creators are only doing it because they're evil capitalists who want to monetize the Hasan dad meta.
For the past few years, there's a big industry that's exploded in popularity, and it's based on a simple concept. Hasan bad. It's kind of like a perpetual cycle of dumb guy slop. It's interesting to see YouTubers that typically
dumb guy slop, that's right. Dude, well, I mean, we have the ultimate retard right here. Everybody that comes in and I'm just a super retard. I'm just over here just like being the dumbest of the dumb. I am the absolute king of dumb guy slop. Here I am. He called me out, and he's not wrong. I am a dumb guy slop, but at the end of the day, I at least have more fucking brain cells to rub together than the fucking AIDS volcano that's building in your fucking frontal lobe.
Over TikTok drama and gaming content, randomly giving their opinions on genocide and geopolitics. But that's the result of such an ecosystem. It's not about the politics, it's about making money.
Is he joking? Noah started out by reacting to TikTok videos. He doesn't have a degree in political science, and like 5 seconds before he was a political activist for Palestine, his most viewed videos were Sneeko and Fresh and Fit reactions. What qualifies you to talk about politics more than them, Noah? Watching a few...
Well, also, they just do it for the money. We covered the fact that he doesn't have like fundraisers running on any of his shit. He is fully monetized. It seems like he's doing it for the money too. Oh, rules for thee, but not for me. I'm too smart for these fucking troglodytes. I'm in another fucking world. I'm better than thee. I allude to cause of violence. They're fucking losers gamers. I'm here to fight the good fight, but take all the money and put it in my back pocket and then laugh all the way to the bank.
Dumbass FD signifier yap videos doesn't make you smart. But Noah is really insistent that other people, not him, do not actually care about this issue. They only care about the money. I mean, look at Ethan Klein. He even put a sponsor on his video, that demon.
Collect big, fat AdSense check. That's how it goes. And Ethan knew it would do well, too, and made sure to get a sponsor for the video.
Thank you to ExpressVPN for sponsoring this video.
Which was a VPN company that happens to be owned by an Israeli billionaire with a history of funding and supporting the IDF. He's not a Zionist, though, apparently. Apparently he's not a Zionist, and he's pro-Palestine.
The irony of Noah sponsor shaming is insane. This is literally the same guy who has taken multiple BetterHelp sponsorships. For those of you who don't know, BetterHelp has been exposed as a horrendous company multiple times over the years, and I believe most recently, 2 years ago, they were caught leaking personal medical information from its users. This stuff about BetterHelp is very well known by YouTubers. PewDiePie even covered it a bunch of years ago, and as someone who has had a YouTube channel since he was a child, there is no way that Noah didn't know about the
I wonder who the BetterHelp CEO is. Okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do like a little research. I wonder who the BetterHelp CEO is. Alana Matas. Alana. All right. Oh. What? Hold on. In Sunvale, this Israeli offers online. He's an Israeli, bro. Oh my god, dude. Holy shit, dude. No fucking way. No fucking way, dude. No, dude, I wore my "Oh, the places you'll go" because it's a fucking comfortable ass shirt. No fucking way, dude. No fucking way. Dude, he's fucking blasting Ethan Klein. He's fucking blasting Ethan Klein for using NordVPN, who has ties to the Israelis, when he's used BetterHelp sponsors that is literally their CEO is Israeli, dog. Oh my god, this is fucking amazing, dude. Oh my god, dude. Oh, dude, what the fuck? Dude, he's... Dude, how's that Zionist money treating you, buddy? How's that Zionist money funding your channel, dude? Oh my god, dude. Let's fucking go, dude. Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. Oh, this is so fucking great, dude. Oh my god, dude. How the fuck, bro sits here and like is blasting. It's just, I had a hunch, right? I had a hunch. I'm like, I wonder who or what this guy's view is on the Israel-Palestine thing, right? Well, let's just see. Maybe he's actually like, he's vetting his sources, vetting his thing enough to know that maybe they're a highly like they're maybe like a Palestinian company or a company that is from some place that is super for the Palestinian plight or whatever. But nah, it's just an Israeli dude, bro. Just a fucking Israeli dude who started the business. Oh my god, dude. I misspelled Palestine. What? Hold on. I know I misspelled Palestine. Oh my god. Oh, yeah. Dude, look at this. Israel offered free therapy with better help. Affected by the war. Dude, they gave Israel free fucking therapy after, they've actively supported the Israelis during the war. Dude, you can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. This is how fucking much of a brainlet he is. This is how disingenuous it is. This is a win, bro. We'll see if he puts this in here, but I think I just fucking broke one of the biggest things out here, and I know that I'm so small on YouTube, but if you take a chance to watch this, let's see. I think it's, Think Before You Sleep. Think Before You Sleep. You need to check my video out. If anybody's watching this and they go let Think Before You Sleep know that I just broke this case wide open to show how much of a disingenuous fucking retard he is.
Better help drama. The idea that Noah doesn't care about money and is just covering the Israel-Palestine situation out of the kindness of his heart and not because it's easy views is insane. Because in reality, Noah is trying to monetize this content in every possible way, like showing his Patreon at the start of each video.
If you like my videos and want to help me make more of them and faster, consider joining my Patreon. Thanks.
This is like Noah saying, I care so much about money that I want this to be the first thing that you see. The first 50.
He also cares so much about money that he's willing to utilize an ad that is a CEO is Israeli and has absolutely supported Israeli causes. So he is his money is not where his money's coming from is not his views. He is happily taking the money from the people he hates in order to propagate his nonsense. Look at him go! Look at him go! Oh, I would never work with an Israel-based company. Look how that's working out for you, buddy.
15 seconds of your video are the most important part of it, and him putting money first tells you what his priorities are. Oh shit, is that a sponsor link?
One tool I found helpful to compare these differences in this sort of coverage is Ground News, who are also the sponsor of today's video.
Hey look, here's a sponsor link on his second video.
This is why I'm excited to talk about the sponsor of today's video, which is Proton Mail.
What's this, Noah? How could you monetize this tragedy? Not to mention that the instant he gets demonetized, he goes to his community tab to e-beg his audience to donate.
Yep. I mean, this is all stuff I already knew. I mean, I already proved the fact that he could easily attach these to fundraisers. A portion of his money could go easily to something he actually cares about, but he doesn't give a fuck about these people. He's thinking about his pocketbook.
Which means
now, like my channel, I eventually want all the money to go to me because I care about me and my family, and I want to make money. That is what I'm here to do. I'm here to have fun, laugh at shit on the internet, make my silly videos on Fridays where I make my game reviews or whatever topic I decide to do for my Friday video that's like my original content, and then the rest of the week I like making fun of and laughing at shit. I am just here for my own entertainment and to make money. That is my end-all goal, and I am fully honest with that. I don't have any other fight. I don't have any other thing. I'm not here to change political minds. I'm just here to laugh at retards on the internet and make money doing it.
Mr. I don't care about money is monetizing his video in 3 different ways.
I do. Fucking like, subscribe, and let's boost me into the atmosphere so I can make as much money as humanly possible.
Watch page ads, Patreon donations, and brand deals. So let's be clear, if there wasn't money involved in this, Noah would not be covering this topic. Now, not to say that YouTubers can't make money. I mean, this world is tough, and if you can get the views, then you should get your bag too. I'm not here to try to cancel people for making money off their work, but what I will do is make fun of frauds like Noah, who pretend they have the moral high ground when they are doing the exact same thing they said is bad. Noah is clearly doing this for money, and I imagine that another reason that he stopped covering creator drama as much and shifted to Israel-Palestine is because he kept getting roasted and destroyed in every drama that he was involved in. I really don't think there's one drama that Noah has won. And personally, I think there's going to be a few more consequences to losing this drama than there were for the other ones. The most recent update from Ethan Klein was a live stream where he further emphasized that he was serious about this and won't be backing down legally.
Noah Samsen, me and Mutahar together teamed up And we sent a demand for retraction to Noah Samsen Monday night after the show. And so, the ball is now in your court, sir. You have 20 days from the moment you received it to respond.
He also informed people that he would be going after Bad Empanada as well, which is a whole other defamation rabbit hole to go down. Unfortunately, Bad Empanada lives in Argentina, which makes it a lot harder to go after him for defamation and harassment. However, Ethan has noted that after Bad Empanada went after his children, he is willing to spend obscene amounts of money to make sure that Bad Empanada actually gets in trouble for breaking the law.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they pushed it so far to the point where there needs to be accountability. People like George Janitis, the human STD, and people like Noah Samsen, they are materially rewarded. They get no pushback from their community. They get plugged. They get massively shouted out and supported by Hasan and his and co. So for them, they just see green lights all the way. Like, oh yeah, the more I lie, the more malicious that I be about this person, the more views, the more Hasan's going to put me on for sure. Just as mean as I can be about Mutahar or Ethan or anyone that's talked bad about him. So they've created this atmosphere. And listen, it's time for some accountability. I think it's a good thing that, you know, a Jew and a Muslim are together standing up for what's right against just it's beautiful, man.
Well, I guess there's a silver lining in that. Now there's one,
and that's what I'm saying. This is why me and Nuxanor should start a podcast. Me and Nuxanor should start or Nuxtaku should start a podcast. We'll call it the Muzzy Jew cast. The Muzzy Jew cast, and we'll talk about world and current events and laugh at retards on the internet. This is going right out there to you, Nuxanor. You could have probably the world's worst Muslim, or like worst participating Muslim, who's an absolutely chronological retard on the internet, and then we can have you. I don't know how good of a Jew you are, but you might be pretty Jewish and killing it. But I think we can make a great podcast. So that's something that needs to happen.
One more interesting perception that Ethan had here about this whole situation.
We can talk about anime and how you're wrong about our Naruto being good.
During his live stream. Allow me to just play it.
What Hasan does, you guys are going to learn throughout all this, is that these are his attack dogs. He uses them to say the shit that he wouldn't say, to attack the people in ways that is obviously below the belt, that is unacceptable. And instead of having to say it himself, he rewards them by watching their entire videos on his stream in its entirety. And it's basically as good as him saying it in that case, but he doesn't have any of the liability. So that's why he throws it. And now in George's case, this is proven a symbiotic relationship because George is out in Argentina away from most forms of accountability, right? Now, Noah is actually being played as a fucking idiot because Noah is doing his dirty work, but he's doing it from Los Angeles. Now, what do you think of that? Noah, you're about to find out that you're a tool, my friend. And I look forward to Hasan paying for your lawyer fees, too. I mean, that's the least he could do, right?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think Hasan is 100% using these people as a mouthpiece to say the stuff that he actually wants to say. And in return, he gives them an audience and special privileges and protections at Twitch.
He is on the stairs. He is on the stairs of useful idiots. He is like on the stairs, getting fucked in the ass on the stairs by Hasan. Hasan's just plowing his fucking colon as hard as he possibly can, and he's turning around with his little mulleted mustachio face and like, yes, Daddy Hasan, I will be a useful idiot for you. Yes, Poppy Hasan, as long as I make the monies. Ooh, a better help sponsorship. I would love to take a sponsorship from the Israeli government. Oh, yes, I would.
He's sacrificing them so he doesn't get in trouble. So personally for me, anytime Hasan signal boosts one of these sociopaths by reacting to their content, I'm going to assume that it's just as good as him saying it. As for what to do now, all I have to say is that war is a complicated situation. Personally, I think there are very few wars that are done for just reasons, and almost all of them are about land and resources at the cost of innocent people's lives. Whatever excuse politicians give you, it's just that, an excuse. I would highly recommend people read a book called War is a Racket by Smedley Butler. It's a very short but enlightening read about war.
Oh, we gotta read the book, War is a Racket by Smelly Butthole. Smelly Butthole wrote a quite profound book. He's a general Smelly Butthole. He generally smells buttholes. That's what he does.
I think that nonviolent and peaceful solutions are the best way to enact change. Violence should always be a last resort defensive option, particularly since all the asshole warmongers who love to take up powerful government positions want us to be violent because they make huge profits off of war. War is also a great excuse for those leaders to step all over American rights, like how the Fourth Amendment was destroyed after 9/11 and the war on terror that came after it. I think the only way to actually prevent wars is to teach people how to not get tricked by propagandistic, manipulative sociopaths like Noah, get people to stop listening to race grifters because racism is a major enabler of war, and keep our major platforms in favor of free speech so when people do evil things, real journalists can expose them. This is why I hate censorship and why fighting for the ability to say offensive words is an important battleground, because it's the same battleground that gives people the ability to criticize war or messed up things like COVID lockdowns.
Absolutely, absolutely. I 100% agree with all this.
Tyrants will always try to increase public acceptance of censorship by going after the most offensive things first, before they then try to censor people for saying that putting a dirty t-shirt over your face will not stop you from catching an airborne virus. Accurate information is the most important thing for a society, and it's why free speech is the First Amendment. Anyway, thanks for watching. Follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you in the next video.
Dude, that was great. That was great. I love that
DMing your first D&D game can be...
Shut the fuck up, beard face, stupid face. I don't know who the fuck this guy is, but he's got a stupid face, and I don't like. But here's the thing, bro. Here's what we need to break it down at the end of the day. I think I blew this case wide open when I found out that Noah Samsen, the man who would never take any money from Israel, had a sponsorship from an Israeli company. So we have that going for us. We have maybe not an Israeli company, but the CEO was an Israeli. And they definitely supported Israel as much as they could after the war. So he has profited from the war against Israel. So that shows that he is full of shit. He is completely categorically full of shit by his own logic. By his own logic, I fucking blew this case wide open. I pulled my dick out and fucking stroked it and blew out, and what popped out was just a fucking giant glob of logic into the world. That's what I fucking did today, baby. That's what I'm here to do. That's what I'm best at, is being a retard that makes weird sex jokes and says random bullshit. But this time, I fucking brought the tea, baby. I brought the fucking everything, and I hope you guys all had a really good time with this. I think that Noah Samsen is a clown. I think any of these people who talk about other people profiting for this shit when their channel is fully monetized, they have Patreons, they whine about every video that gets demonetized, they don't have any videos that are attached to fundraisers. All of this shit, they could be giving a portion of their money to this plight by utilizing their ad revenue, but they refuse to fucking do that because they're just in it for the money, and they prove so on every level. Now me, when I get monetized, I am fully in this for, like, not fully, I enjoy this shit, but I'm in this for the money. I care about this because, I care about it, one, because I have fun, two, because I want some fucking moolah, baby. I want to make some of that internet YouTube money. So I will be forthright with you 100% of the time that I'm here to make some good money and have some fun doing it. But these other fucking clowns will pretend that they're too virtuous for money. Money is not what it's about. It's about the message. Well, if it was really about the message, bro, it was really about the message, half of your videos would be fundraisers, easily. If it was just about the message, dog, you'd have fundraisers going to all these causes you care about. But see, you make it really easy where you can say, oh, well, I care about this stuff. I do. Oh, he's just giving money because he wants a virtue signal. Well, have you given money? Oh, don't you ask? Don't you try to inquire about my intentions, you fucking fascist. I love this shit, boys. I love it so much. People on the internet are going to be retards all the time, and it's just going to add more content for this channel. That's all I got for you guys today. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.